Now, the new king has started work, spending the day with dignitaries at Buckingham Palace. His Majesty met with the Commonwealth Secretary-General and High Commissioners and their spouses at the royal residence, including the acting High Commissioner for Australia. King Charles is also preparing for a royal tour of the UK to lead days of national mourning for the Queen. Joining me now is royal commentator Victoria Arbiter. Good morning again to you. Tell us what you think of the King's first day in the office, I guess.
Well, yes, it was his first full day of constitutional responsibilities, and I think really it's an opportunity for the King to just keep pushing through, ticking off all of the responsibilities that he has to take care of before he has an opportunity to lay his mother to rest. I think for Charles, though, those quiet moments at night must be quite difficult because he really hasn't had an opportunity to grieve as yet. Today he had to meet all the representatives from the Commonwealth realms. Tomorrow he's going to head to Scotland where he'll meet Scottish ministers. He will lead the procession of his mother's cortege to St Giles Cathedral. And then on Tuesday it's on to Northern Ireland. So there is so much expected of him at a time when he's also just personally grieving.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine that he has to do all this. This is all set in place, isn't it? There's a program that he has to follow while he grieves the death of his mother.
Absolutely. Now, on the one hand, this has been in place for such a long time, as you mentioned, and so none of this is new. He knew what was going to be expected of him, and in a way, family members often say in regular families that keeping busy prior to the funeral helps just keep your mind off the grief that you're experiencing. But at the same time, there's a point where you have to acknowledge that and you have to allow yourself to mourn. So I think for the moment, King Charles is glad for the distraction, and of course he's got the support of his wife, who has been beside him every step of the way. One
thing that's interesting, after Diana's death, the flowers were all outside the palace. We remember that. Here they're in Green Park, right next to the palace. We've been walking through. One thing you notice, first of all, the perfume. It's beautiful. So many people walking through. Why the difference?
I think more than anything because they have to keep the front of Buckingham Palace clear because so many people are coming, and also the King has to be able to move from Clarence House to Buckingham Palace. He's not staying in Buckingham Palace at the moment, partly because it's undergoing this huge refurbishment, but it's wonderful to walk through Green Park, and almost at the base of every single tree there's this huge mound of flowers that is just building every day.
Yeah, it's quite beautiful, isn't it? Thank you very much for keeping us up to date, Victoria. We'll talk to you soon. Here's Scotty.
Yeah, Nat, I thought I'd give you a bit of a sense of what's happening outside of Buckingham Palace because it's just gone 10:15 of a Sunday night. As we were saying, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people have filed past here to show their respect to the Queen during the day. Darkness has fallen and it's almost brought a reverence outside as people just quietly walk along, all generations and all ages. Victoria was saying that they've been trying to keep the outside of Buckingham Palace clear of any flowers. Well, so many people have come along, and not only Green Park but here as well. I hope you heard that. Just people showing their respect in their own way here. And look at the gates of Buckingham Palace as well. The flowers climbing up almost to the top of the gate as well. So people singing here, they're lighting candles, they're having a photo. There's a real sense of history. And as I say, 10:15 at night, still hundreds of people here. And this is how much the Queen meant to this nation. And there's a sense of connection between everyone as well. So it is really special here. And we might come back a bit later and talk to a few people as well. But